Well, howdy, fuckers, and welcome to this week's episode of the Western Grunge Tape Deck. This week's episode is brought to you by Bad Decisions, as always. Allegedly, the Molson Coors Brewing Company. We're hoping for a Dr. Bronner sponsorship soon. They haven't reached back out, but we're
In the
hoping.
works.
In the works. Anyways, today we're joined by John Teague from the Teague Brothers Band. How is it going, man?
It's going pretty good. How about y'all?
Living a dream.
Living
And
a
not
dream?
necessarily mine, but somebody's.
Somebody.
Yeah, that's right. Some rich bastard.
Yeah.
So, John, we'll start it off, man. Tell us a little bit about where your musical influence comes from. We're just gonna dive right into this.
Okay, musical influence. I would say the way I write and why I write is probably a lot to do with like the likes of Jason Isbell, Sturgill Simpson. Um, the reason why I write is a little bit different. My parents both are accomplished musicians. They wrote and were performing artists and did pretty well, early in their 20s. So I just kind of was raised in this family where music was just like it's just part of your life. So that's why I do it. But the how I do it is obviously a different answer. I like fucking metal music, and I listen to a lot of like Tool and a little bit more like edgier and deeper lyrics and stuff. So I draw a lot of inspiration from guys who are a little bit more cerebral, the way they write. So I try to bring that over to country music whenever I'm listening to it. Turnpike Troubadours, these guys have been doing it, John Prine, etc.
Well, I don't remember what band it is, but people talk about Cody Jinks a lot. Didn't he play in like a heavy metal band before he went
Yeah.
country? And like I heard that one day, and I was like, "Oh man!"
Metal.
And then like I saw it, like I was listening to Cody Jinks, and I was like, "That's crazy." I can see this guy being in a heavy metal band.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he has no shame about it.
He started to kind of go back into it with that Can by Nod a couple of years ago. And I thought for one who like really listens to solely Texas country, red dirt, I know I need to broaden my horizon. But I'll dabble into some like classic rock and whatnot. But with his Can by Nod stuff, like I was a fan of it. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, Gage, I bought the Hank 3 Rebel Within album a couple weeks ago, and I'd listened to it a bunch of times, like on streaming, but like first time like I ever really sat down, like I put the vinyl on, and I was like actually listening to it, and I was like, this is literally just a country album made by a guy that does metal. Like you can tell that this guy does metal, but he wanted to do a country album so bad. This is his take on a country album.
Right.
And I was like, this is beautiful. We need more stuff like this. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's good. Like it fits what, I mean, it's an old, honestly, we'll go ahead and say it, it's a lot more country than the stuff we're getting from the country radio,
Oh, ain't no doubt about that, brother. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. And I'm with you. I think I just did a songwriting retreat last week. So like there's a lot of talks about this kind of shit, like where you draw inspiration from, like what inspires you, like what makes you want to put pen to paper, and to me it is it to me personally, it's a lot different than others, but it's because I have a real broad listening experience whenever my day to day is all over the place. I mean, it's like I said, it's from Sleep Token to Turnpike. I mean, it's just but I'm searching for something that is like going to make me feel something, whether it's a little edgier or a little bit more on the nose. But none of it will be some cliche bullshit. I can tell you that. None of it'll be that. You have a tendency to regurgitate what you take in, And so, like, I was telling the guys that the songwriting retreat, I'm like, you really need to like read more. Like, if y'all really have an interest in like pursuing this songwriting thing, like this weird mating call thing that we like do, where we're like writing mating calls. So, if you really want to become a better writer, then you need to read more. You know, you need to be a better reader. And it's like that with music too. It's like, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no, I think Tracer was just looking at something.
I was
Oh,
trying I
okay.
was trying to turn my volume down because it was
Oh,
booming. You're good,
no, it's all good. Can y'all hear me pretty good? I got these damn Apple AirPods. I never know if they're doing anything. But yeah, so that's kind of I want to see the younger guys that are coming up and wanting to like write with me or like hear from me, like how I would do it if I was them. You know, if I could start young, if I was younger, as young as they are, like early 20s, starting out, I would start reading a lot more books. You know, Hemingway, uh, to start with. You know, read a lot of Ernest Hemingway and poetry, just real poetry, and then which can come in the form of a song, like you know, Maynard from Tool or Sleep Token or Queens of the Stone Age. I mean, these guys are brilliant writers, brilliant. But you know, anyway, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
well, I was, listening to or watching it on YouTube really the other day, but Ray Wiley Hubbard was on a podcast, and I don't remember what podcast it even was now. I feel terrible, I should quote it.
Was it like on a stage with the crowd and he'd
Mm,
talk for a little bit and then
and
sing some songs?
I think the guy's name is Dylan Wilden.
Well then, yeah, I know who you're
Okay.
talking about.
He said he sat down with Ray, and they were talking about, Snake Farm, which is in our for our generation, Ray's most popular song. You know, it's not my favorite Ray song, but I know a lot of people that it is.
Hmm.
And he's like, you know, I was just driving down the road and I saw the snake farm that I've driven by 100 times, 1,000 times driving between Austin and San Antonio. And he just sounds nasty. And then he just took that and he like walked through on the podcast, like he broke it down, like how he had to like sit there and come up with characters and like he created like this whole story. And I was like, I couldn't do something like that. But it's cool to hear people's like writing processes, and how they go about like creating the story worlds in their mind.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things for sure.
So we kind of talked about your influences and everything, but just a little more about yourself, where you're from, and all that
For
good
sure.
stuff.
Yeah. So I'm born and raised in this little town called Winnie, Texas. I don't know if you know where that is. It's out there near Galveston, between Galveston and Beaumont, off of I-10, about 30, 40 miles from the Louisiana border, off the Gulf Coast, and small little town ranching and oil fields and oil refineries. That's basically what makes up the people there. You know, that's what they come to do there. They're either a farmer, a rancher, or they work in the oil gas. So naturally, that's what I did early on in my life, and I got sick of it pretty quick. When I was 20 years old, I joined the military to get the hell out of there, and I went and fought in Iraq and did a tour of duty over there, and was stationed in Baghdad, and then came home to a beautiful wife and went right back to work in the oil field. I had before that, like as I was a teenager, I joined a metal band early on in my. I think I was like 16. I lied about my age to this group of guys. They were all in their 20s, and I showed up to an audition and blew them out of the water, and I just started being a lead singer of this metal band, and went on the road with them for a few years, and that built up into me starting another metal band, and that one went on the road until drugs and alcohol took over, and I was like, well, now's a good time to probably join the military, So yeah, that's how it went for me early on. When I came back, I discovered like a passion for like songwriting and like I would always songwrite, but like not in the way like Whiskey Myers would or like a Jason Isbell or well, back then it was the Drive By Truckers. And so when I got out of the military, people started showing me that kind of stuff. The people I was hanging out with, that's what they were listening to. But anyway, yeah, uh that's kind of my early like start and getting back into music and how it led me to this. Started the Teague Brothers band in 2017 with my brother, and he left in 2019, and but I kept on going.
So, we try not to get too much into labels because you can label everything until you're so sick of it that it means nothing. But what do you consider the music you make? Like, do you consider it country? Do you consider it rock? Where do you put
Mm.
it at?
Yeah, I think somewhere between rock and country. Like I think that's pretty good spectrum. And I like to mix them both together. And then if you come to the live show, you'll definitely see both. You know,
Mhm.
you'll experience both. But yeah, that's where I would stick it if I was going to file it away.
Sure. So, like when you're out on the road and you're road dogging it around different, states, playing different shows, what's the go-to gas station order when you gotta fill up? Like, what kind of snacks are we grabbing?
It depends on the time of day. If it's
Okay.
late at night, I'm grabbing something fucking sour because one of us is driving and I'm trying to stay awake. So like something spicy or sour like helps with that. And then a
Uh-huh.
shitload of caffeine, like way more caffeine than a human should ingest in a day. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
me.
then that's like our late night kind of we're going home, boys, that mentality. But if I'm like headed south on 35, it's like, about noon and we're on our way out. Probably gonna I'll try to stay healthy at the beginning, I'm like, I'm gonna get some beef jerky, some water, you know, things like that.
Man, I tell you, I don't eat a whole lot of beef jerky anymore just because of how insane the prices have gotten on beef
Oh
jerky.
yeah, it is. You're right. Who
Dude,
can afford that fucking shit?
I'm
I can't.
telling you, man. And you walk over there and you get like you try to grab a bag of it and the bag's like $13 and you're like, this is not even gonna fill me up, you
Yeah, it's
know?
like a little small Jack
Yeah,
Link's bag with like
yeah,
5 slivers of beef in it.
right.
And you're like, what the fuck? But for $34, you can buy a double that size. Yeah, and get 10 slivers of beef. It's nuts.
See, the thing that, like, when we're going around to different shows and seeing different artists and doing things, the thing I can't live without is a gas station hot dog. Like, I won't even be hungry, but if I see, like, a roller dog sitting there, like, I gotta grab one. That's my
Who
go.
makes the best roller dog? That's the question.
You know, I gotta go with Quick Trip.
I
Like,
was
and
gonna say the same thing. Well
they
done.
just they
They
never
nail
let
it.
me down, and now they're doing, we stopped we were coming home from Cane's a while back, and we stopped in at the one that's on the way home, and, they had hot honey, chicken, rollers. So it's like their buffalo chicken rollers, but it was hot honey. Delicious. I could have eaten a
Really.
dozen of them.
I like those
Uh,
ones with usually they're like jalapeno cheddar or something like
right,
that.
right.
Yeah, dude. I remember one time I got shit faced and we're like, it's late at night. My wife and some of the girlfriends and girls were riding with us, and we pull into a Quick Trip and get everyone's getting food and stuff. And I came out with like 3 jalapeno cheddars with chili poured all over them and shit. It's like I felt like shit the next day from eating all that. But yeah,
Oh,
that'll do it.
But at the time, it was good, and it was the greatest thing ever, and
Oh,
that's
it
what
was best thing
matters.
yeah, and
That's
they were
what
talking
matters.
shit, they were like, "What are you doing with all that?" But in my head, I was like, "This is the best thing I could have found." Like, I might as well have found a pot of gold, man. Yeah.
So, I mentioned Canes, and, so, like, what are some of your favorite venues that you've had the opportunity to play?
Good question. I mean, my favorite, there's a few. Mm. I think I've got to play Green Hall twice now, and both times pretty magical. It's a legendary place, and you kind of look around and you're like, this place is just this is just a dingy little like I've seen like people's back porches that are nicer than this, and you know, but man, there's magic in that room. It's pretty cool. And then, I've played some pretty big festivals on some big stages with like Shane Smith at Shep's Barbecue. I played a show with them one time. It was pretty awesome. Then again with Shane, we played at Munster Fest in Munster, Texas, I think, or German Fest in Munster, Texas. And there was about 9,000 people there. It was insane. And I think that's so when it comes to like favorite shows and stages, like one of those two, probably. They ring to the top of mind.
Have you ever played the Mercury in Tulsa?
But yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
Mercury Lounge is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I think I caught you at the Mercury
Did
in
you?
Tulsa.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I'm trying to remember. Pretty sure I did. 90% sure I did.
With fiddle or without? Do you remember?
Without, I think.
Without? Okay. So that was probably the last time we went. It was like in the middle of there was some big ass festival going on. Where was it? What was going on? Some festival. We showed up at the wrong time of year. It was the worst time to be there. Like Friday night. Oh, it was Oktoberfest last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like in October last year we showed up and we noticed some people and lederhosen and shit before the show, but I didn't really think nothing of it. I was like, "Oh, okay, well this is a pretty good crowd. We're gonna have a good night." And then like when we went on, there was no one there. I'm like, "What happened?" Like, and then after our show, the people come pissed drunk to the Mercury after the Oktoberfest festival thing ended. So yeah, we were like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Man, y'all could have told us that this was going to be one of those nights where we're competing with like the biggest festival in Tulsa. That'd be nice to know ahead of time." But anyway, yeah, I love playing the Mercury. We always do pretty well there, and it's a shit show. I mean, it's a shit show every time you play there.
It's one of the weirdest atmospheres you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the last time I was there, it was a Thursday night, and got there at like probably like 7 o'clock, and the guy was like, "Yeah, live music's gonna start in like 30 minutes." And I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah." I don't even know who's gonna be playing. I'm just stopping in for a minute and like sat there and drank a couple beers. And all of a sudden, it's like 8:30, and I'm like, "There's no live music." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on tonight. Every band we had booked tonight canceled."
Wow.
So that was the last time I was there. I've been wanting to go back, we just haven't made it yet. Because I live about an hour and 15 minutes from Tulsa.
Which
So
way?
north.
North, really? Okay, I
I'm right
gotcha.
on well, right now I'm on the Kansas side of the line. But here in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be moving 3 miles from my current residence to Oklahoma.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
I
I'm moving
gotcha.
right over the line. Gonna finally be able to say I'm an Oklahoma resident,
Yeah, for better or for worse.
for better or for worse. Welcome back, Gage.
Yeah,
I didn't know where you
sorry
went,
about
man.
that. Random. The internet decided to just shit on me. So I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay." So got
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
restarted back up. Sorry about
it
that.
was pretty odd to see because I'm like mid conversation and then he just vanished. Did you see
He's just
that?
gone.
Like your body vanished, but like the background stayed the same.
Yep.
It
Well,
was
I connected to
hilarious.
my hotspot, and it was still like really spotty. And then all of a sudden, it just disconnected from that, and so we just had to restart and reboot the router and take a little 5-6 minute intermission. But we're back now, and
So
Right.
where?
fingers crossed that it doesn't fuck up
So
again.
you're in the boonies too, then? Where are you at?
No, I'm probably about an hour north of Dallas.
Well, what the hell? You should have like light speed internet, dog.
You would think this town is quite small, and
Oh,
we
where are
have
you?
like the Whitesboro.
Okay, okay.
We have
Just-
two different options. We have Optimum, which is like cable TV style. For anybody who knows internet wires, it's not fiber. It's like cable TV internet in a sense, and that actually
Mhm.
works better than the fiber that we have locals,
Wow.
and
Damn.
it's a lot cheaper.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're recording a record right now up there in Denison, Texas. I don't know if that's
Oh.
that east
Yeah,
of you.
that's about 20-30 minutes east.
I
Now,
gotcha.
are you over, not to completely dox where you're at, are you over in Wise County?
No, I am in Tarrant County right now.
Okay.
So I live over just south of Fort Worth, Burleson, Texas.
Okay.
That's where I moved here from Winnie in 2024. I just touring was picking up and COVID was over, and I was like, all right, it's time to get back on the road. And I wanted to get closer to where I can pivot out of here pretty easy. It's a good central location. I can get up. It's no closer to Nashville, but I'm a lot closer to the airport. In Winnie, there was no airport. I mean, you're literally like in the middle of rice field, rice country out there.
Yeah. The reason I asked, I have a buddy who worked for a volunteer fire department out in Wise County, and he knew a John Teague. And we talked about it. I was like, is he in a band? And he goes, I don't think so, but I'll have to ask him. And then we proceeded to get drunk and completely forgot about the conversation.
Most people only know me because of the band. so yeah, that's a pretty good indicator. You probably never met. But you never know. Shit, man. When I came up here, I went to work at a manufacturing company, and literally there was my second day at work. I'm sitting at my desk, and some guy just walked up, and he stopped, and he turned and he looked at me. He goes, "All right, what the hell are you doing? Are you John Teague?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he's like, "I just listened to you on the radio on the way here." He's like, I was like, "I work here." I was like, I have a mortgage, my friend. Yeah. Shit, dude. I'm a normal person. I mean, I just write songs and shit. That's all.
Yeah. Now, I think this is a perfect time to bring up an old, almost forgotten segment. Um, being from Texas and a Texas guy through and through, I need your top three, or list these three fast food chicken places that I'm about to give you in order of just solely the chicken, no sauce, none of the extra stuff, just on the chicken itself.
Okay. I'm
Chick-fil-A,
listening.
Raising Cane's, and Chicken Express.
Man, because frequency doesn't necessarily determine quality,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, there's a Chick-fil-A down the road. I don't see Raising Cane's as much. And at work, I see Chicken Express all the time. And so I would eat it there all the time. But if I had to compare them, I have to say it'd be Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A, then Chicken Express. That's how I would do it. For what that's worth.
Wow. That's the first time that somebody
First
has
time what?
not put Chicken Express number one, I think.
No, man. Fuck Chicken Express. They burn their shit all the time.
Mm.
They burn their
Mm.
chicken too much for me. I'm like, man, what the hell is it?
Are you
On top of that, fried their spicy chicken. Dude, good luck on the toilet the next day. There's way too much red pepper in that shit. I'm telling you.
damn, that one hurts. Maybe I just need this internet to miraculously disconnect again
Oh,
and
Whoops.
find myself out of here. No, I'm a big Chicken Express guy. To me, it's like the quality of the breading. It just stays on the chicken tender better than any of the other ones, and it's better.
Look, there's all right. That's 3 chicken places out of like 20. Okay, you list the. I would argue that they are in my top 3. Like, if I had fast food chains like top 10, they would be probably in my top 5. All 3 of those. So I would not. I'm
Okay,
not throwing Chicken Express out completely, but you gave me parameters that I needed to keep my shit inside of. So it is what it is.
I'm
Somebody's got to win.
surprised.
Somebody's got to lose.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you put Cane's at number one because all my experiences with Cane's, like one bite and over half the breading just falls off.
see, and like Gage, we talk about this, and like it's hard to be non-biased when it comes to Cane's because I don't know what they put in that sauce, but that's like the most amazing sauce. Like a Cane's chicken tender by itself, I can't say much good about. All right, but
Which
you
is
drench
why
it in that
it
sauce, it's
yes,
oh,
100%. If we
Yeah.
included sauce, yeah, Raising Cane's is my number one every single day of the week.
Look, here's the thing. Look, Chicken Express itself has its own ranking of its own shit inside of it. Okay, so their spicy chicken to me is the best quality. The other one always comes out a little cold and a little burnt. The regular. But for some reason, the spicy, it's like they only make them on demand. So they're always hot and they're always like just better cooked, I guess. And then their little buffalo chicken tender is like the worst thing ever. I don't even know why they would even put that on the menu. But their sides, they have bomb ass sides. Like really. Like cheese sticks, like badass cheese sticks. What is it? And then they have the jalapeno poppers and then don't they have the macaroni cheese thing too? I can't remember.
They have those corn nuggets, which is just
Yeah, the
like
corn nuggets.
corn just deep fried in a ball. Those are phenomenal.
Yeah.
My
Raising
go-tos are
Cane's, all they
the
got is French fries.
yeah.
That's it. But they are good fries. So
The only
uh,
thing with Cane's fries though is you have to eat them fresh. Like if they're not warm and hot whenever you eat them, it's just like you're eating a piece of cardboard that was soaked in water. It's so bad.
so
You have
Raising
to eat 'em
Cane's is
fresh.
number 3 for you, I suppose.
Probably, but like again, if we're going just based off tender, like their breading just doesn't do it for me. I want a good solid crunch, and for the breading to stay on and not just kind of fly off.
They don't even stack up to Raising Cane's on breading either, if you ask me. Now, their flavor is better because they got that like salty chicken tender thing going for them. But that's not always what I'm aiming for. Like it's almost too distinct. Like it's like when you eat, especially go get a 30-piece nugget from Chick-fil-A, you'll be sick of that thing about halfway through it. You're like, man, this is just too much of whatever it is. It's too much of it. But I can eat a 20-piece, Chicken Express one pretty fucking fast. If I was hungry and I've been smoking, I'm gonna kill 20 fucking chicken tenders, dog. Especially with that gravy, boy. I'm gonna fucking tear that sucker up.
Now, do you get the serendipity seasoning, or
The
do you
hell
know
is
about
that?
that? Oh, I'm about to put you on.
All
So,
right.
if
Tell
you're
me.
not a big fan of the spicy chicken tenders from Chicken Express, I think they're very hit and miss on if they're gonna be like good or not.
Mhm.
But if you just get the regular, whenever you get up to the window, just ask for like a couple packets of hot serendipity seasoning, and you
What is
put like
that?
1 or 2 into the gravy, and you stir it around. And we
Oh.
had Zach Wilkerson on, and we really nerded out over it because he's like I want as many packets in that gravy that it's gonna turn it red. To me,
Wow.
2 packets is perfect. It
Mhm.
gives the gravy just a nice little heat kick to it, and yeah, it's damn good.
Damn. You turn it well, yeah, you're enlightening me a little bit, but you told me not to include shit like that whenever I was,
Exactly.
making my judgment here.
So I'm gonna pivot back real quick because Gage will talk about chicken tenders all night. Uh, you're
I
recording
had
a new
frozen chicken
album.
nuggets tonight,
I had
so yeah.
Kendall asked me if we could just order pizza, and so I got on Domino's, and I was gonna get the like just like a large pepperoni, for the two of us, and it came out to like $18, and it was gonna be $19 with tax. And I was like, we can get two medium pizzas where we both get what we want and have leftovers for $15. Like we're gonna go that route. You gotta use the Domino's coupons.
You do.
You got a new album you're recording. Are we expecting to drop this year, or are we gonna hold on to it for next year?
No, I'm basically gonna start just dropping one song at a time and just
Mhm.
that just doesn't make sense to drop a whole album anymore, which really sucks because I really prefer to like release music that way because that's how I enjoy getting it. Like a whole new album comes out, but like I could do it out of principle, but like if you're not a big dog, it doesn't make sense for you to do anything other than singles. And then maybe like when you get down to the last two singles, like bundle them all up together and call it a record. That's just the nature of shit right now. It's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but yes. So I'm doing one song at a time. We should start dropping them probably in the next couple months. Actually, I'd say probably next 3 months,
Next 3
honestly.
months. It's okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
To
you had an
just
album
keep
come
on.
out. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Wait, I was
We
gonna
were
say you had
thinking
an
alike.
album come out last year.
Hmm.
Um, forget the name of it right now. I was listening to it
Wish you
the
the
other
world.
day. Wish You the World and A Little Blood. I really dug that song. Um, really connected with that. So, um,
What made you like it?
let me look at the lyrics real quick. Put me on the spot here. I haven't been as well taking my notes as I used to be.
No, it's fine. I don't care if it's lyrics or music or whatever caught your
It was
ear.
lyrically that got me. It was like a little, but that one stood out to me off the album.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and that one was such a like right field kind of song compared to all the other tunes, and honestly, I didn't know how it was going to be taken. I thought maybe some people might thought I was a little too political, but it's in my mind it's not because it's from a perspective of like a veteran who has sacrificed something before, but still recognizes that our liberties are something that took sacrifice to achieve. It does do a lot of tongue in cheek about like drinking and shit, and like, doing drugs or doing something that is not normal, like or would be considered taboo, like taboo things. But these taboo things are right to have. Like this is a liberty that we have, whether someone else likes this shit or not. Whether someone else likes what you do with your life or not, it doesn't matter. It is your liberty. It is your life, and everyone as an individual, and we are pretty lucky to have it. So the song, like I said, is pretty tongue in cheek, but there's an underlying message there. That our liberties are there for a reason, whether other people like them or not. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Everyone's voice is equal, and it should be. So anyway, that's a cool. I wish that song. A lot of people wanted that one to go on the radio. but I say the word piss and vinegar in there. Apparently, that's like offensive. So I was like, "Ah, I'm not fucking. I can't. What am I going to replace piss with? That is not, that would like have the same like meaning.
Fact, yeah.
Urine. But it's got a rhyme. I was gonna say,
I never thought about that before, but, some of the songs, not being able to go on the radio because they have stuff like that in 'em. But that makes sense.
oh, it's hindsight. And we're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have put an F bomb in there. That was stupid.
Well,
But
I,
yeah.
uh I live out where I live out, like, the radio station is pretty much just, like, the same 5 artists played on a loop all day long, and so one so one day, I do service work, and I had the opportunity to, go to one of the radio DJ's house to work on, her, oven, and, she's, like, talking about radio, and she's telling me about her job while I'm, like, inside her oven replacing an igniter, and so I finally asked her, I said, "How how do you pick something that goes on the radio?" And she goes, "Well, why do you ask?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be honest with you, I think everything that you guys play on a daily basis sucks. There there's nothing to it." And she's like, "Well, what would you rather hear?" And, like, of course, I'm a big Turnpike fan. I was like, Turnpike, Silverado, Flatland Cavalry, Randy Rogers, Carson Jeffrey, like, give me, like, that feels real. And that was when she was like, "Well, we're owned by a parent company, and we're told we have these selected songs, and we have to play this artist so many times a day, this artist so many times a day, this more from where." And I was like, "Oh, so, like, you don't even get to pick what you wanna hear?" And she's like, "No, I don't like the music I play, but I have to play it because, it's, like, my job to play it."
Yeah,
So,
it's very corporate structure, like, and it's like that with a lot of places, but some of like, if you guys are familiar with 95.9 The Ranch, well, they're like the most popular
Wearing the
radio
T-shirt.
station by far, like across Texas and the country. One of the most popular radio stations in the country, and they don't play any of that shit. They have a program director who just plays he's like one of us. He's literally one of us. God, I hope he stays there for as long as possible because, like, what would happen if he decided to hang it up one day? And he's a good friend of mine.
I can
But yeah.
I can remember I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, but I was about 16, 17, and I was in Texas for the first time, going to see the Dallas Cowboys, and, heard, like, Texas radio for the first time. And it changed my perspective on music, cause like, like, being on the line of, like, Kansas, Oklahoma, like, I knew Ragweed, I knew, like, some Stony LaRue and stuff like that. I wasn't into it as much back then because it was kinda like, this is what, like, my cousins listen to, or my older cousins listen to, and this is what my parents listen to. So, but, like, hearing Texas country for the first time and, like, hearing William Clark Green and, probably some early Parker while I was down there really changed my perspective, and I come back and I was like, "Why does our radio suck now?" You know what I mean? Like, why can't we be listening to that? So that was really what made me delve deeper into music, and then, of course, over time, you start branching off, and then you're what I've found is that my tastes start to change. It's like 3 years ago, if you would've asked me, what I thought about the Grateful Dead, I would've told you, like, "Oh, they're not for me." And then here recently, I went on a complete, like, deep dive of the Grateful Dead, like, listening to all kinds of live albums, listening to their shows, and I was like, "These guys were fucking geniuses of their time." Huge fan now. So I think, as you go along, and I'm sure you've felt this too, and especially, like, writing music, what you like changes and, you get
Yeah.
into different stuff.
Yeah, but what is that? Is that maturity? Is that just what you're going through in life? And then, or maybe just, you know, just total accident, I'm not really sure. I've
You
always
know,
wondered
it's
what that was.
I've had this conversation, and I think it was Brian White from the Damn Quails, during the episode that we shot with him, and he was like, I always brag about just where I've lived all my life and grown up in the DFW area where, I grew up listening to 95.9 and, what is it,
Yeah.
95.3. And Brian was like, those are the two best, like, stations
Yeah.
amongst probably the country. He goes, they're completely
Yeah.
independent. They play what they want. And just to tie right back in with the album that you dropped last year, I mean, 95.9 has played the shit out of Fire, and I might be shunned, but that is probably easily my favorite song off that album. Just something about it, the tempo of it, the lyrics, and it's just a nice calming song to listen to if you want to just have it on as background noise. But
Hmm.
whenever you actually like listen and go into the lyrics, it's like, damn, all right. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that song.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Yeah. That's that one was a little bit of a shock. Uh, Shane, he started playing it out of nowhere. I didn't realize he had put it on heavy rotation because I wasn't even promoting the song like as a single. It was just on the record. He just decided that he was going to start playing the shit out of it. And I was like, oh shit, I have no promotional material for this song whatsoever. Nothing, because I didn't plan on it. I mean, the song barely made it to the record, to be honest with you. So I was just how yeah, and I always was fond of the song, but I had always imagined a female would sing it. And I had a couple female artists that were interested in it, and then they didn't do shit with it. And I'm like, well, hell, I'm about to do something with it then. So I put it on the record, last minute ad and everything. And then, yeah, after we got into it, I had in my head, I had imagined the song to be closer to kind of like, you ever heard of Mandolin Orange? Or I think they go by Watch House now.
Watch House, yep.
Mhm. Yep.
I had kind of in my head, it was like that's how I heard the song. And, and I leaned into it. I didn't let the band, like, tell me how it was gonna be, they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Trust me, this is how it's gonna be. This song is gonna be like this. Everyone's gonna hate it, but this is how I hear it, and we're doing it, and I don't give a shit." So when you listen to it, it sounds so different than every other song on the record because I intentionally, like, went a different direction with it just because I was hearing it differently. So, yeah, it was pretty, like I was like, "Oh, shit." So I called my radio promoter. And she goes, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, I guess he's done put it in heavy rotation, so we might as well just send it to all the radio stations because most of them follow behind like whatever he's doing. They'll all kind of do the same thing. Otherwise, everyone will just tune in to 95.9 The Ranch because you can do it on an app now for free.
Yeah.
So
And I
Yeah,
want to
about the
say,
cool.
I think I've heard it quite a few times on 95.3 as well. It's funny, you have the ranch and then the range. And
Yeah,
it's like
nothing confusing about
people
that.
start talking about it and just getting talking so fast. You're like, what station are you talking about? I mean, they're very similar, but the range 95.3 they play a lot more like of your, I guess in a sense, deeper cuts or more like unknown songs.
Mhm.
Whereas 95.9, like, and I really do like this about them is they'll play like a lot of unknown, kind of some deeper cuts and stuff, but they also
Mhm.
have that appeal to just the average listener to kind of draw them in. But the
Yeah.
range, I've heard some very off the wall stuff, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is a song that I've never heard before by an artist that I've never heard before. I look them up and it's like, oh yeah, they passed like 5 years ago. And the song was released in 1985. And I'm just
Oh
like,
Jesus.
huh,
What is
interesting.
that?
Yeah, they are just very broad and wide, but it all is the Texas, Oklahoma, and they dabble in like more bluegrass and like I almost want to say like outlaw bluegrass in a sense It's really weird, and I don't know how to describe it.
Oh, I can appreciate that. Are you like bluegrass?
Very hit or miss for
Hit
me.
or
I
miss?
think I think
Let
whenever
me
I'm
plug
listening to
this in. I'm
bluegrass,
listening, but hang on.
I'm more of like instrumental listening
Sure. Yeah.
versus lyricism, and I'm more of a lyricism person, I feel like. And so I think
Yeah.
that's just kind of my disconnect from bluegrass, but there are some out there where, I can definitely appreciate all instrumentals whenever it comes to it.
That's true. I think I'm with you on that. I've definitely, well, as a songwriter, I can appreciate these badass guys with chops and all that, and I respect it, But I won't necessarily emotionally attach myself to the song, or uh, feel anything, without some sort of lyricism that kind of helps me with the messaging. Just like a movie, even movie has a visual at least, you know, with the music.
Oh, oh my god. Gage, I haven't even told you about this yet. I'm just gonna talk about it right now. He said movies. It popped into my squirrel brain. So, a while back, Kendall and I went to the Goodwill bins, and when you go to the Goodwill bins, you buy everything by the pound, okay? So, there's a box of VHS tapes, and you buy them, like, by the pound, and VHS tapes don't weigh anything. So, I got, like, 10 VHS tapes for, like, a dollar, okay? And it was good stuff. It was, like, Tales from the Hood, Norbit, uh, Tom Hanks, he's in it, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, and it was like these 10 really good movies. And so I went to work the next day, and one of the ladies that works for me, is an older lady, and I was telling her, and she goes, "Well, I didn't know you were into VHSs," and I was like, "Well, Kathy, I wasn't. But when, you find a really good deal, and I felt like I needed to save these, because if I didn't save them, they were just gonna go to the dump." And so about a couple days later, she goes, I got these VHS tapes that I wanna get rid of, and I want you to have them. I said, "Okay." And I'm thinking, like, 2030. No. 3 full boxes of VHS tapes. And I mean, there's stuff like Blade Runner, Lonesome Dove, you name it, it's in this box. And so I was like, "Well," she's like, "Just sell them. Sell them, make your money, do what you want. I just don't wanna deal with them anymore." And I was like, "Okay, I'll start putting them up online." And then I thought, "Well, you gotta test them before you put them up online. I need to get a VHS player." And I have searched high and low for a working VHS player, have not been able to find one, been going on 2 months now. And last night, we're out at my parents' for St. Patrick's Day. My mom spent all day cooking some, corned beef, cabbage, and we're talking, Kendall and I are getting ready to move into our new house, and she goes, "You can have that TV that's in the spare bedroom, but you gotta take the TV stand because I don't want it anymore." And I really don't want the TV stand either. We've had it since the '90s, like, it's this old, like, silvery gray looking thing, like, it's going away, but she doesn't have to know that just yet. Anyways, in it is a VHS player. And I was like, "What
Really?
the f," like, "I've been looking for one, mom. I've told you I've been looking for one." She's like, "I forgot it was in there." So anyway, that being said, I got the VHS player here in the apartment right now. Tomorrow, the adapter and the hookup for it come in so that I can take it from, analog to HDMI to go to our current TV. So we're recording an episode. This episode the episode I'm going to talk about will already be out by the time this one airs. Mutiny at Midnight. Gage and I are doing an album review of that new album. So if you're listening to this and you haven't went and listened to that, go listen to that.
Okay.
So, um, anyways, back to the main point. I'm hooking that thing up Friday night and I'm watching VHSs all night, and I am so fucking excited.
Dude,
No,
those days, did you grow up with those around at all?
I was at the end of the era, so um like, we had them quite a bit, probably up until my like early teens, I guess, was when I remember us getting our first DVD player. And then the DVD player was like very short lived. Like we maybe had the DVD player like 2 years, 3 years, and then streaming came out. We were very late to the party, essentially. But I got a bunch of VHS tapes at my parents. Like, I was a huge Scooby Doo fan growing up,
Hell
Cool.
and
yes.
I think I got like every Scooby Doo movie. Um, which was funny is like I was on TikTok the other day and like somebody was like ranking Scooby Doo movies, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. And like all the movies they're ranking are all like all the newer ones that I haven't seen. And I was like, I want like the '90s one, like the Zombie Island with the Hex Girls and the
But yeah.
Space Invaders and the Cyber Chase. Like, give me those Scooby Doo movies. Like that's what I grew up on.
Hmm.
Um, but I'll probably go pull those out of my parents' attic at some point in time. But I got a whole box back here I need to get through first.
Oh, sure. I think you need like three. There's like three for sure that you need to have. Like one of them is Forrest Gump. It sounds like you already got that one. Ninja Turtles, like that first
Mm.
like live action Ninja Turtles movie. Fucking awesome, especially on VHS. It's not the same watching it when on high def. Like it's like, oh man, this looks like shit. But when you watch it on that version, man, like back in the day, it's just like, oh, this was state of the art back then. And then I'll say something like Land Before Time or something like the saddest like Disney movie of all time.
That's a really good one.
I
Like I
could
said,
only imagine watching Lonesome Dove and just having the waves rolling through the screen like every so often. Oh. Hey,
Yeah.
at the move-in party,
guess I
we're
was gonna
watching
say
VHS tapes in the background of
I'm
the
gonna
hoopla.
I'm gonna hook it up in the living room, and Sunday morning when we wake up on Easter and we're uh having a hair of the dog to get through the rest of the day. Um, we can just sit down all together and watch Lonesome Dove together.
Yeah, it take like 5 minutes to rewind those fucking things.
That's
It's like you're like, he's go get a cup of coffee, come back.
that
Yeah.
that's the one thing I don't have yet is a rewinder, and I think my parents have one.
Jesus.
Cause growing up, my dad had like the car one. And you would like put it in the hood of the car and like set it down, and it would rewind it. So I'm gonna go
Oh
pull that
yeah.
eventually.
Well, a VCR would have it built into it. You just
Okay.
hit rewind, you know.
Yeah, it should
You
have it
probably
like
get
on
one off
the
Amazon. Hell,
Well,
or like one of
that's
those
my
universal
if that's
remotes maybe. I don't know if it would pair up, but I know like VCRs would
probably not.
have
You're not pairing up
yeah,
with anything
VCRs used to
VHS.
have remotes.
yeah,
Did they? I don't
they
remember
did.
that.
I think the one that I grew up
They
did.
probably did. But man, what a thing. It's like we're still like we've got iPhones now, but we still got these fucking shitty like rubber button remote controls that we use for like even Amazon Fire Sticks and shit. We're using these like shitty remotes that dogs can like destroy and like you know, dude, I don't understand that. Like how we come so far on some things and then other things like we just hit the nail on the head right at the beginning, you know? Like
I think
shit.
what it was like, oh, instead of making a new remote, let's just make an app so people can control it just from their phones. Since they're always on their phones and everything, like Roku has an app where you can download the Roku app and boom, there's a remote on your phone.
Yeah,
And then
but when
same
you
with
walk
Apple
into someone's
TV.
house or like you go to a freaking Airbnb, what you looking for? The
Oh,
remote.
the remote every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Yeah.
that's just kind of what the companies have maybe thought of. I don't know.
I no one's been able to out invent the remote yet, you know?
And this brings up a good point. Because you brought up the whole remote being on your phone thing. This is why I want to go back to physical media so much. Is the fact that I want to be disconnected from my phone. Like I get tired of having my phone. And like especially like when I listen to vinyl, I'm terrible about it when I listen to CDs. Like I can put a CD on and sit there and play on my phone. But like when I actually have to put like the physical vinyl on, I'm locked in. And so I'm really excited to, like, see if this is the same case when it goes into VHS. Like, if I pop the VHS in the player, like, am I, like, just locked into the movie? Like, am I actually gonna sit down and watch a movie without worrying about what's going on Twitter or what's going on, like, the rest of the world? Like,
How old are you? Or how old are you guys, both of you?
26.
24.
26, 24? You know, I'm 39 now, and I have seen this come full circle where it's
Mhm.
like people are, and you're not alone in that. Like I've got a 16-year-old nephew who could give a shit less about TikTok. I mean, he could give a shit less. And he's 17 now. But I'm like, there's a whole era of people who like he doesn't even post on Instagram. He might post like one thing once a month and it's a meme. And it's kind of racist sometimes. I'm like, hey, dude, what the hell are you doing with this thing? Like, bro, you realize like your grandma's on here, man. You can't be saying that shit. Uh, I like it's interesting to see how like a lot of people are distancing themselves from it whenever there's a whole generation like us. Millennials are just totally just like video games, Call of Duty. And then you can see that these video game people and these movie people are like circling back and remaking movies that millennials watched. And like, they're not remaking them for someone else to watch. They're remaking them for millennials to watch them again because they know they'll buy those again. It's like we're like the millennials just like are sucked in so easily by technology and stuff. And we've seen everything from like beepers to fucking artificial intelligence. You know, as opposed to like you had no, you weren't around when beepers were around, you know, but or even the fucking land phones, landlines. I don't even know. Maybe whenever you were like toddlers, you know.
We
It, we
my,
had a
my
landline
grandma
until I
refuses to
probably
get rid of
became a
her landline.
teenager.
Oh, really? Go ahead, Gage. What'd you say?
I was probably, I had to have been maybe, oh, let's see, probably like seventh or eighth grade whenever my family disconnected the landline. And it was one of my favorite things ever. I don't know why, but I just always loved having a landline.
Well, what happened is the city. I mean, they don't support them. The telephone poles don't have them anymore. They're just not there. Even if you wanted one, you can't have one. You have to hook it up to your internet somehow. It's wild. I mean, I've got Starlink now too. Like this millennial, typical millennial shit. I've got I've got high speed internet everywhere I go. I'm totally connected. Like I'm driving around with a Starlink on. I've got every Apple device there is, every fancy fucking technological shit that you can imagine. But my guitar is, to me, my guitar is my escape. It's like that is my thing. My guitar is a 1995 Epiphone that my mom bought because she was poor. She couldn't afford like a nicer guitar, and I inherited it some time along the way. And I write every damn song on that thing. Now I play with a different guitar, but that that and carpentry and stuff like that, like that's how I go disconnect. Like I'll leave my phone somewhere and just go like I built the desk I've got everything set up on right now. I built this desk and I used to build houses. I used to build a lot of shit. Had my own business for a long time. But But man, when it comes to a new video game or a new piece of technology, son, I'm first in line like an idiot. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I will have a robot. Let me tell you. That son bitch going to do all the laundry.
So I that's what I do for a living. I work on appliances. And I have this conversation with the customers a lot especially when they're like the husbands are talking about like not wanting to do laundry. And I'm like,
Mm.
it's not the process of doing laundry that sucks. Doing laundry is easy. You throw the stuff in the washer, pour your soap in there. I said it's the damn act of folding that makes laundry so hard. And I said, if they come up with a machine that will fold your clothes for you, believe me, I will be the first in the line. I'll be knocking on doors to sell it to you. However, right now it doesn't, so you have to fold your own laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can
Yeah.
do what my wife and I do and just keep it in the basket, and you grab clothes from there.
When
And then
Who
whenever you
needs
get tired of doing
closets?
that, whenever you get tired of that, then it's like, all right, let's just go ahead and fold this shit.
but before Kindle, that's how I lived. I had 2 baskets, one dirty, one clean, and when the, clean basket got empty, it got switched over to the dirty side, and the dirty side went and got dumped into the, washing machine.
See, that's
Um
efficient. If you ask me, that's
Right.
pretty damn efficient.
100%.
What's funny is I've always been like, "Man, I don't know why customers have such a hard time picking out, like, washers and dryers." Like, it's easy. Like, I work on them every day, I know what I want. And then, we're getting ready to move into this new place, and, uh, they, the brand of washing machine and dryer they had in there, they wanted us to buy off of 'em was the brand that I don't work on, Samsung. And I was like, "Well, I can't be
Fuck
selling,
Samsung.
right,
Fuck
I can't be selling, Whirlpool appliances and have Samsung in my home." So, I was like, "Just take them. I don't want them." And so my dad was like, "Well, what washer and dryer set are you gonna go with?" And it froze me up because I was like, "What washer and dryer set am I gonna go with?" Like, I know like, I have all this knowledge up here. And it took me 2 days of, like, thinking about it to finally decide. Um, Gage, I know you recently went front load. I'm not a big front load guy.
I'm not either.
Make
Trust me. No.
make sure you leave that door open when not in use. That way, it doesn't mold in there. Uh, for all you people, if you have a front load unit, run white 2 cups of white vinegar through it monthly because front loads are the worst about molding. Um, However, I finally decided that I'm going with the Whirlpool with the removable agitator. Because you get 2 washing machines in one. You get one with the agitator and you get one without the agitator while having it in the same area. And I hate the fact that it took me 2 days to come to that conclusion. Um, but yes,
So
that
you don't like the agitator in there?
I do. But so like as like when you wash like sheets and bedding and stuff like that, you don't want sheets
Yeah,
and bedding beaten around as much as you want like my dirty jeans and my dirty t-shirts and stuff like that. I want the agitator for that. But when I wash my sheets and blankets, I mean, I lay on them. They're not out in the mud. They're not out. So what's the point of them getting beaten around, getting ripped up? Because
sure.
like agitators, I mean, I love an agitator because agitators get your clothes clean, but agitators also like lessen the length or the life of your clothes because they're
Sure.
so rough on them.
It's true. It's very
Thin
true.
the material out.
Right. So also fabric softener is a scam. We're not gonna get into that, but fabric softener is a scam. And I'm actually allergic to fabric softener. So I have to
Pussy.
go into people's homes and their fabric softener, they like especially the ones in the middle of the agitator, get like clogged up
Mm.
and I have to like pull them out and clean them. And like the other day I had to pull a lady's like entire agitator out and like probably 2 bottles worth of fabric softener just like pouring all over the tub because like it hadn't been dispensing any of the fabric softener
Oh my God,
probably
really?
months.
And so
And
she's just been filling it up.
yeah, and she's like, "Oh my god," and I was like she's like, "Should I use fabric softener?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "Now we have to go through the process of cleaning your entire tub because this is everywhere." So, white vinegar and oil. Only use oil if you, are getting an over suds condition because oil will kill suds.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
What kind of oil?
Just regular cooking oil. So,
Oh, cooking
like, if
oil.
if you get in your washing machine, like, take your like and this is how you can tell if you use too much soap or not. Start your washing machine and look like I don't know if you have a clear glass lid or if you have a metal lid, whatever. But after it sits there and agitates for a little bit, open it up and look down in there. And if you got like suds in there and it's empty and you haven't put any like soap in there and you have suds, you have too much soap in there. Put a little tablespoon of oil down in there. It'll help get those rid of the subs and clean out the this old soap that's still stuck in there.
Damn. And you sound like I don't know how like it sounds like something like my grandmother would know. Like get you some white vinegar and some cooking oil, pour it down in there, I get rid of all your suds. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm
Western
like,
Gun
damn,
Shape Deck,
it's a
educational
wisdom. It just feel
podcast.
yeah, that's just fucking wisdom, man.
Well,
There ain't no other way to learn that stuff than from either a grandma, because I know that shit ain't in the Whirlpool fucking manual. Go get some white vinegar for it. Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, for a young technician, I'm extremely well versed, because I have to know how to work on all the newer units, and I handle working on all the newer units because my dad hates the new stuff and basically refuses to work on it. But then I also have to work on the old stuff as well. And one of my favorite stories to talk about is I went out on a service call, uh, 1950s gas wall oven. This unit cannot be replaced because they don't make one that will fit in the dimensions that this one's made in, and they don't make gas wall ovens anymore. They're extremely hard to find. And so I fixed this unit with $11 worth of parts from the hardware store, a tube of adhesive, and a gasket, like a metal gasket for hot water tanks, as
Uh-huh.
like a seal. Fixed it with that, right? So $11 in parts from the hardware store fixes a 70-year-old wall oven. And my very next call, I'm going out, 2-year-old washing machine, bad transmission, bad it's ruined the clutch of the transmission, it's ruined everything. And I'm like, go buy a new unit. It's gonna cost more than you paid for this unit to fix it. And
Wow.
that's where in society we've designed obsolescence.
Yeah.
These units are designed to fail, whereas our grandparents' units were designed to outlast them.
Oh yeah, there's refrigerators that are still running that from the '60s, and that's just that shit don't. That's just not real. Like I have a. That's why I said I'm on the fuck Samsung train because man, I had a Samsung refrigerator, my first one I ever bought. Ice maker went out. And I mean, total shit show trying to fix that. I'm like in there with the screwdriver, like banging this thing. And it comes to spit out some ice every once in a while. Then it started like shitting out like ice with like rust on it. Replaced that one. And then, I mean, no joke, like the exact same thing started happening with another Samsung ice maker and a total different model and everything. Exact same problem. So yeah, I've just given up on Samsung in general. They suck.
Well, what's funny, especially about refrigeration right now, is we've kind of had a full circle moment in refrigeration, because in the 30s and 40s and into the early 50s, they were using propane in refrigerators because
Mm.
when you compress propane, it gets extremely cold. And of course they went away with that because of how highly flammable propane is. Well, this new Freon that we have to use, because of the new Green Deal that we did back in 2020, um, where
$34A or
we had
whatever
to
it is.
phase out R134A.
Right.
Um, we went to this R600, which is a synthetic propane butane mix. And
Really?
I'm like, we've come full circle. Like we went away from propane because it was too dangerous, and now we're back to propane. Like I know guys that, and I've thought wanted to do it myself, and my dad hasn't allowed me because it's a liability issue. But I want to charge one with propane just to do it because it works the same in R600 units.
Does it really? I
Yep.
wonder.
The only difference is that the R600, since it's a synthetic butane propane mix, it's slightly less flammable than propane is. Um, but it's still highly flammable.
Huh. That's interesting. Because when I was building houses, that was kind of like a thing. Like we had to use, well, the AC guys, we actually had an AC person who come out there and, I learned a lot about those units. And that's something else. I guess I know you're talking about refrigeration, but it falls in line. It's the same like world. You're making air colder. I mean, it's the same process, less extreme. But that's a talk about something that will never go away, like that. That in electricity, like being an electrician. We could just we're gonna shift this show into to the trades. Like we're starting this is turn into like dirty jobs,
Well,
Yeah.
this
This is our
this
first
isn't.
year of now becoming a educational podcast. Granted,
Right,
by
exactly.
we were like crowned by Uncle Lucius, those guys, and they
Really?
were like, "Here, this is an educational show now." And we started just
Right.
come. We started with like simple math problems, and then now we're
Uh-huh.
just getting into real life talk. I know Tracer's like nerding out over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get to talk about this, and it's one of those things like when you do it every day, and you have this knowledge, and you get to share the fun parts of the knowledge with people, not the boring troubleshooting knowledge. It's fun.
Yeah, no doubt. And I agree. Uh, there's so much I can unpack there. There's on TikTok, like one of my favorite TikToks is like watching these old guys who like are carpenters, and like they're just talking about here's the difference between an 8 penny nail, a 16 penny nail, ring shank nail, smooth. Like they're talking about all these different nails and the best way to drive them in, and here's the best hammer for these nails. And it's like, dude, whenever I was building houses, son, I just grabbed the nail. I grabbed the first fucking hammer I could find and it just started, or hell, I just used screws. I didn't go around like, taking the time to like line up a fucking nail and shit. But, I mean, or a nail gun. You just had nail guns. You're just going there, toot, toot, toot. I mean, you just shooting nails like crazy. It's like, hey, I just need
Invite
a
your
long
friends,
nail and
start
a
shooting.
strong nail. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I love it. I love, I don't, there's something pure about that connection with like everyone's, I watch these video game streamers and stuff that pop up and they're not doing anything. They're staring at a fucking screen and and I'm guilty of it. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't think there could be anything less interesting than that. Like trying to, uh, you know, enjoy the fact that someone else is just staring at a screen and doing this. You know what I mean? But like you go put that camera on an old guy who's been building houses for 45 fucking years. Like that is the most interesting like thing. It just takes me to my grandfather. He was a saddle maker. He was basically like my dad's. My dad and my mom split up, and so I lived with my mom. She was single for a long time. So at home, my dad was my grandfather. At least it felt like it. And I mean, he gave me so much. He just kept me. He made me more grounded as a human being because like the shit that he made me do was like, hey, we got to go put hay out like right now at 6 o'clock in the morning, or hey, you got to go get the eggs every single day. You like basic, like normal things that, well, he's 83 now, but someone who was post World War II, like born in the middle of World War II, like rode out some of the tail end of the Great Depression, that and then his mom, he was raised by people who lived through two great wars and the Great Depression, So like his perspective on the world is much smaller. It's like condensed and tighter. And like you worry about your kids, you worry about what you can control, and you take responsibility for the smallest things, and you do those things with pride and you do them the best of your ability. And, I feel like your generation and the generation that's following you, I think are trying to get back into that from what I have been noticing. It's really interesting to see.
To kind of again bring that up about just our generation and then the one following us, and to kind of tie back into music. It was just announced yesterday, 2 days ago, that vinyl has now surpassed over $1 billion in sale for the first time since, what was it, like the 80s or 90s, Tracer?
83, I believe.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So,
See,
and
that's another example. That's a great example.
yeah, and I, again, I can't remember if it was whenever we were talking with Joe Fink at Hand Drawn Pressing, or if it was whenever we interviewed Zach Wilkerson. But whenever they said it, it kind of really put it into perspective of it's just something to hold. you can touch it, feel it, see it, read about it, and just having that in your hands versus scrolling on a phone, reading about it. There's something different than having just that sense of touch of this is right here in front of my hands. I can feel it. I can actually visibly see more than just what song is playing on my phone right now.
Hmm.
And I think in the corporate world, where we're at now, where everything is over corporatized, you can't even scroll Facebook without getting a damn rain bet ad or some type of betting ad
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
some like made up bullshit.
Degens unite.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love the rain bet ads, but at the same time, um, uh, to have something physical, something to hold, something that feels real, as opposed to like the over commercialization that we're feeling now, as a society, um, is what my opinion is. I mean, like, I talked about it a little bit ago. I mean, like when I drop a needle on a vinyl, like I'm locked in. Like that's what I want to listen to. Like I'm
Oh yeah,
full
I'm not
focused on
going
that.
anywhere
Yep.
until I flipped that thing over and listened to both sides. Like I'll even do it with modern music. Like I've got like a bunch of Mac Miller records. Like start to finish, perfect records. Um, and then I even I listen to my fucking friends like John Fulbright. Oh my god,
The
him
master.
on vinyl. That they're amazing. Talk about an experience. Like he was born to be on vinyl. And then I'll go listening to CCR and fucking Bad Moon Rising and Alabama and it I don't know. It definitely is it's a whole nother experience. And honestly, for you guys it's like, oh wow, this is what music is like when you actually can touch it and like put it and own it. I actually own it. But for us, it's like shit. It's more nostalgic,
Mhm.
or I say for us, me. I mean, I'm not that much older than y'all, but still, 20 years is a generation.
Right.
Like we're
Yeah.
practically a generation apart. So it's very interesting to see because I mean I just want people to buy fucking CDs again. Like, to me, that was, like, the perfect medium because you owned it, it was compact, and you didn't have to worry about it, like, melting or something unless you were just an idiot, but, like, you could stick it somewhere, and it was easier to buy, and it was 10 bucks, like, 10 bucks for a record, and, like, a lot of the pricing that exists today, like, on iTunes or, like, even, like, if you go to a merch booth or whatever, that pricing was based on that $10, that $1 a song kind of thing that happened.
Well, when you brought up earlier, you brought up, your influences is like Sturgill Simpson. Um, he created quite a buzz here recently with all the stuff he pulled for his new album, Mutiny at Midnight, the Johnny
You
Blue
mean
Skies album.
yeah, you
Mhm.
mean Johnny Blue Skies?
Yeah, my
Not
bad.
Sturgill? God.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
Sturgill, come on.
This is Garth
uh
and Chris Gaines all over again, except we actually have 2 good artists nowadays.
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
down, Gage, down.
Where are the bodies, Garth? Where? Where are
yeah.
they?
Where are they at? I always wonder, does 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 Sturgill have an ego? It's like I feel like he definitely does, but then whenever I see him break down some barriers and stuff and be pretty humble about it all, it's like, oh, maybe he doesn't have an ego. Maybe he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, and that doesn't mean you have an ego. It just means you just don't give a fuck what everyone else is doing.
I think my
I think it's
favorite
that.
thing learning about Sturgill was listening and watching, like, the 4 or 5 episodes that he did with Joe Rogan podcast, because, like, he's sitting there and he sounds like he just doesn't give a fuck about what's going
Yeah.
on. But, like, then you actually kinda listen and you watch, and he's like, no, he completely enjoys being there. Like, he's loving every
Yeah.
bit of it, but it's just
Oh
he
yeah.
just seems like such a laid back, like, I don't really give a shit type of vibe, and I was like, "Damn, I wanna be this guy
Yeah.
whenever I grow up." I just wanna be just I don't give a fuck what's going on around me, like, fuck it all.
think, the sooner you learn that, how nothing else matters, nothing really matters. The sooner you learn that, oh my God, the better life just starts getting better. And like even all of this, like everything that's going on right here, like whatever is driving you guys to do this thing, this is very public and it's interesting, and you have decided or someone has convinced you that you're interesting people, and and I'm not saying that you're not. I'm
I
just,
wish. I
you
just do
know
this to try to get rich and become famous and forget everybody and, be a
well,
millionaire.
exactly, like
I don't
that,
even like music.
like I don't like myself. Well, like there's something like freeing about, like, even like now, like pretty I've been doing music pretty steady. Like I said, I started this band like 2017. 2020 we released our first record in late 2019, and then COVID hit. And like through all of that, trying to stay relevant and give a shit about everything, and then like as soon as all that ended in like 2023, 2024, I just stopped giving a shit about what other people thought. And I started making the music I wanted to do. And all of a sudden, like, we're on the road, we're busy, and like I've got this band that's hot shit, and fucking, everything starts to move in the direction you want it to go whenever you stop caring about what everybody else thinks and what they want you to be. And you just start accepting where you are, and take that path of least resistance, like wherever your compass is pointing you. So I think it's interesting. It's like whatever you are doing here, eventually it will evolve into like, I'm doing this because I don't give a fuck what y'all think. I'm doing what I want to do, you know. And that's the other thing. Like, I was just listening to I think his name's Jeff Kaplan, but you guys into video games at all? Are y'all done video game stuff? Not really.
Vaguely.
No. Well, as a millennial, I'll speak for millennials here, but like he was one of the creators of the game called World of Warcraft, and then a bunch of other like super big games. And he had a really interesting take on basically what we're talking about here. Basically, letting go of your ego and humbling yourself, and then starting to like lift up other people that are around you, and how that ultimately led him to becoming, one of the game creators of like one of the greatest games of all time, the game directors of all time, by just being helpful and being a good human. And then all of a sudden he's being credited with like, oh, one of the best of the best. And maybe that's what's going on with Sturgill. He has this weird thing where he's like, I'm gonna make 5 records, then he made like 6 or something. It's like that was like the Johnny Blue Skies thing. And maybe that's what that is. It's just like, oh no, it's not really a Sturgill record, it's Johnny Blue Skies.
Yeah. And
Have y'all
to
seen him
to
live
kind of
yet?
I haven't. I want to. But to kind of touch on what you were saying earlier about just the once you care less about what's going on around you, life gets easier. Um at the age of 20, I was traveling around the states working, and I just cared so much about like how people looked at me, viewed me, this, that, and the third. And whenever I started traveling, it was like, okay, these childhood friends that I had for 15 years. And then there's this one guy that I met in high school 4 years ago. I talked to him way more because he's actually reaching out and holding a conversation, whereas my childhood friends, just as soon as I left town, it was gone. And it was around that time that I was like, you know what? I really don't care about anything. I'm just going to live my life, uh, do do what I want to do every single day, live each day like it's my last. That way, we're all going to die one day. I hope I get to live a long, prosperous life. But if my time was to come, a couple weeks from now, am I going to be satisfied with everything that I did up to that point? So I just live each day like it's going to be my last, and make sure that I make the decisions that's going to make me happy, going to provide for my wife, our 3 dogs that we have running around, just like
Mhm.
what's going to make me feel better about myself and not care about everything else around me. And like you said, once you kind of get really in that mindset, it's pretty nice. The noises all around you get quieter for sure.
You can walk away from your phone, like Tracer
Yeah.
said. You can just fucking bounce.
If
Who
if it
gives a
wasn't for
shit?
my job, I would have a flip phone.
Yeah,
100%.
When
same, same. If people around me didn't like expect me to be somewhere within reach of some fucking social media app, I wouldn't have one.
If we didn't have
And
to
this is
promote
starting to happen. This
podcasts and
trend for you,
all
for your
that.
generation, and like I'm telling you, this trend is circling back around. It's
so
wild to see. It's cool.
I had I had to go get a new phone the other day, and standing there in the phone store, and of course, she's like, "What phone do you want?" No, obviously, I'm gonna get an iPhone. I've had nothing but iPhones my whole life. Well, I mean, ever since I got my first smartphone, I had the old flip phone for a long time, but
Yeah, sure.
Now,
I
did you have, like, the flip or, like, the slide with the
I had the actual
keyboard?
flip.
Okay.
Um,
Like, yeah.
but I'm standing there and I'm like, "Hey, man, can I get a flip phone?" He's like, "I guess if that's what you want." And I was like, "Can I put Twitter on the flip phone?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, I gotta have my Twitter. That's about the only app I cared about. Um, so that's why I went with smartphone again. I was very close to buying a flip phone.
Wonder if on the cat flip phone, because, like, you can have Google Maps
Right.
and, like, Spotify on there, so I wonder if you could get Twitter on there.
I would I would get it, man. I just need to have somewhere to put my intrusive thoughts during the day.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that what I like about Twitter in general is like it's kind of like the only town square where you
Yeah.
just hear the crazy guy just screaming like crazy shit from the corner, and you can like you just like, what the fuck is he saying? And then you got like these, furries and shit are in the one corner, and they're all gaggled up and they're chatting with each other, and you can go tune in or not, or you can put on a fucking your own little doomsday outfit and start ringing the bell and say your own crazy shit, until a crowd gathers, and there's something beautiful about that. It's like the ultimate expression of just freedom. Like I can say whatever the fuck I want to you, and I'm gonna tag Donald Trump in this shit. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna hit send, bam, take that. And that son of a bitch ain't gonna read it, but it don't matter. You said it, you got it off your chest, and then hell, felt cute, might delete later. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
you can do that too. I love that. But on Instagram, it's more of like this facade, It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
You
put
have to be
anything too,
professional.
yeah, and you don't want to say anything too mean or too edgy, because then like people will straight up remove your ass from their shit because they want to just they just want, it's like Pinterest there, but for people's faces and bodies and stuff. And
You know,
Facebook's just where the old people hang out.
I'm a
right.
big Facebook guy. Facebook is my favorite social media
Bring
app.
Facebook back.
I will
Yeah.
I will doom scroll on Facebook and interact with like so many posts
Really?
like daily. Oh, I love it. I don't know why. And it's like I like Twitter or X nowadays.
Yeah, X.
And I
yeah.
used to be like really, really far and deep into it, and like just posting and engagement and just the algorithm was at like an all-time high for really everybody at the tape deck. And it was great. And then
Yeah.
I took like maybe a week, 2 weeks off of social media, and it's like I post something now and there's maybe 50 people that see it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going back to Facebook. I know all my friends and people that I'm friends with on there and follow me, like they'll interact with my post.
Yeah, that's true.
And Marketplace
mean,
also has a lot to do with Facebook.
Marketplace is a real
that gets
ass
me in
thing.
trouble.
That shit works.
I'm telling you, I told Kendall the other night. I said, here in a couple weeks, I'm gonna have my own garage. She says, I know. And I said, you know what the first thing I want to do when I get my own garage is? And she's like, I know, you want to put out workout gear in it so you can have a home gym. I said, no, no, no. Before that, I'm buying a jukebox. And she's like, why? And I was like, only for the reason that I can have the space to work on one. And when I get it working, I'll be able to just stand by it and tell everybody about how I fixed it. Like, no other reason.
Yeah, that's pretty
Because
cool. That's a good reason to have one. It's like, oh yeah, I built that motherfucker over there.
it's funny. We went to a record show and they have like the boxes of the old 45s lined up, and we picked through them for a little bit, and we're just like, neither of us are really into a lot of like the old 90s country or like even the 70s country. Like we have a few here and there, like Alabama or that kind of stuff that we enjoy. But she's like, well, what are you gonna fill it with? And I was like, it doesn't matter what I fill it with. I'll fill it full of like the cheapest 45s I can get my hands on. It's
You
just the
should
perfect
just do.
weekend.
You should just do like movie, movie soundtracks. That's it. So like, what are you in the mood for? Forrest Gump. Like that was like the best fucking movie soundtrack ever. Like that'd
Okay,
be pretty
okay. I
cool.
wanted to bring this up earlier, but now that we're back on the topic of movie and soundtracks, what are y'all's 3 favorite movies, like movie soundtracks? Top 3, 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead, Tracer. You go first.
All right. Well, number one, I feel like I have to go with like the most iconic soundtrack of all time. Top Gun.
Pretty damn good.
Number two, I mean, I feel like I'm just like taking this one, but like Forrest Gump had a great soundtrack,
But
had
yeah.
Creedence Clearwater Revival in there, Fortunate Son, um, all kinds of stuff. Like it was a really good soundtrack. Um, and then without like going with one of like the music documentaries or biopics or whatever you want to call it, like Elvis or Johnny or Walk the Line.
Walk the line.
Um, oh man. I mean, Joe Dirt has a lot of Leonard Skinner in it, and I love some Skinner. Um,
Well, I'll take all the good ones. But
yeah,
I
I
was,
might go Joe
yeah,
Dirt. Yeah,
yeah. Forrest Gump's number one for me. But that was like I grew up on that, so yeah, like every one of those tunes are inside of my personal like. Which by the way, fuck Spotify. If you got an Apple phone, fuck yeah,
Big,
get rid of
big fuck
Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, like
There you
for
go,
real.
Tracer. How do you feel now?
Yeah, I would ditch them so fast, especially if you got an iPhone. For I'm sorry, I don't want to derail what we've already derailed. We've
it's
derailed
fun.
like
Go
3
ahead.
times.
Yeah.
But fucking Spotify had the audacity to raise their prices a few weeks ago. I think it starts this month coming up, or it might have started this month, by like $4 or $5 a month. But they are not increasing the royalties to artists. So what the fuck is that? You know what it is? That increase is for their AI, man. They are implementing AI, and they are
Pushing
one
all
of the
their AI
platforms.
artists.
Oh yeah, they are allowing AI artists on there, which dilutes the stream pool, the royalty pool for all the streams. So I'm fucking like, fuck you. I switched to Apple, and they pay me 3 times more, almost 3 times more than what Spotify does.
I've
So
been on that train of trying to convert people from Spotify to Apple solely for the hey, this
fucking
person is getting paid
anything.
more. Each time you listen to their song, they are getting paid more. Just make the switch.
Get a YouTube subscription. A YouTube subscription gives you like movies, like all like basically it's like having Netflix or something. But you can also go and build all your music playlists. You can do everything music
Unreleased
too
music too. on there as well on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, like every album that we ever put out went to YouTube, like in the form of an album, and we get royalties from those songs, you know? So, yeah, I think almost everything is better than Spotify. But something else is you're an Apple user, fucking, I got on there the other day and it was like, okay, because I'm pissed at Spotify at this point. I'm hot. First thing I go to Apple Music. They have a bundle on there. They got the news, they got the Apple TV and music and like the podcast, all this stuff for like $4 cheaper than a Spotify subscription. So it doesn't even make sense to even have Spotify.
What
And it has
what
all the
is a
podcasts
monthly
on it you could think.
a
20
monthly
bucks a month.
for
20
Spotify for
bucks a month.
one user?
No. No, for one user?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what one user is because my wife and I have the family, but we were paying, it went up to $23 a month, $23.99. Just went up to that. And it already had gone up like less than a year ago.
I was about to say, I
Again,
know
so
they had a big spike and then they implemented that DJ thing for like
Uh-huh.
playlists and whatnot. Because I think like the single user went from like 10 to like 12 or 15, and then if it's
oh
going
yeah,
up
that
again,
sounds
I
about
mean,
right. Yeah,
it,
I want to
it
say one user now is probably close to $20 a month
yeah.
for just
Whereas
one
on
user.
Apple, family's like $24.99, and you can add, I think
It's
it's up to
20,
like 4 or
right?
6 people or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the sound quality sounds better on Apple. If you have good speakers, you can easily tell the difference because they have
yeah,
that lossless
yeah,
audio and whatnot.
yeah. It's a true representation of the masters that we paid shit tons of money to have. But when you go to Spotify, they compress the dog shit out of it, and you have to have a separate mix for the Spotify, and that is an extra fee, for you to have. It's been a nightmare. I'll be frank. It's just been a nightmare. For all the good Spotify may have done, they have also completely disintegrated any kind of form of digital, uh, monetization of music. They have destroyed it. They have
I
absolutely
was
ripped it apart.
I will say not to keep this train rolling, but the one thing that Spotify does do a good job at is the outreach of finding new artists, like the variety that they will give you. I always had better luck finding new artists on Spotify than I have on Apple.
Yeah, I will too. I have a way more. Um, it is a little bit tougher now that I moved to Apple Music to like get new stuff. I'm like I have to go on to get it. As opposed to like on Spotify, like if the album got done playing that you were listening to, they just started playing a radio of it. Just of like random artists. And you'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Who's this? This is Architects. I'm like, oh, fuck, these guys rock. Uh, Anyway, so I will give them that, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't need that shit.
Yeah,
I will
with the
I'll
way social
gladly.
media is, I can
Yeah,
find that artist within a day or two of just scrolling something.
exactly. That it ain't worth the money. And there was something, one of the tipping points for me on Apple, and then I mean on Spotify, and then we'll get off of it. but one of the things is like they incorporated this new AI DJ thing, or some sort of like AI playlist where they would go, oh, click here to see who your new favorite artist is. And you guys, I've told y'all what I listen to. Okay, and what it came back with was an obscure pop artist, like shitty, like Selena Gomez style, like uh music. And I was like, this is your AI picking my new favorite artist. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm fucking done. And it was told, and that's the other thing, like the artist. because they were so obscure. I never heard of them before, and I was like, "Is this an AI artist?" I was like really on the fence about it. I was like, "Man, I don't even know if this is a real artist." I had to go look her up, and she only had like 100,000 monthly listeners, and I'm like, "Why the fuck would I want to listen to this?" I mean, it really took me back. Anyway, we'll leave it there.
All right, back to movies. So you
Yeah,
had Forrest
Forrest
Gump
Gump.
1.
Forrest Gump 1, and then you said Walk the Line, but I would say Walk Hard. That was like The Legend of Dewey Cox. One of the best fucking soundtracks ever. Like, oh god, that entire movie, and like almost every song on there was absolute just classic. I mean, top to bottom. I've probably listened to that shit more times than I'm proud of.
Nope,
But
nope. Wait yourself, Tracer. You already said your
yeah,
3. You can't change now.
yeah. And then hell, I couldn't tell you. I'm like him on number 3. Like it just becomes a huge toss up. But like,
You said
yeah,
it, and I have to say it now. Give me the Dazed and Confused soundtrack.
God, the Dazed and Confused soundtrack. Is that what you would
Yes,
say?
yes.
I wouldn't even know what. I can't even remember. Jesus, I haven't
Um,
watched that
it
movie in
has
forever. Is it
it
good?
has Black Oak, Arkansas on it. When they play Jim Dandy. You got some Pink Floyd on there.
Mm,
Pretty sure they mixed some Skinner in there at some points.
mm.
Um, Real picture of the times, if you will. That's such a great movie. Make Kendall watch that tonight with me before we go to bed.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, man.
What about
That's
you,
all
Gage?
good stuff.
So my 1, it's funny because we were talking about bluegrass earlier, and I'm like, but I think my 1 would have to be "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou,"
Oh man, yeah,
the
that was
soundtrack.
that was a contender for number 3 for me.
My number 2 would have to be "Hell or High Water."
Good
Mm.
one too.
It
Yeah.
listeners out there, if you haven't watched that movie, go watch it. One of the greatest movies you'll ever see.
Is that the one with the scene where they're in the diner and the
Yeah,
old
what
lady?
don't
She
you
goes,
want?
"What don't you want?"
Yes.
Love
What?
that. Love
And
that.
then, 3, I'm gonna say it because it is a very iconic soundtrack. Give me the original Cars.
The original Cars. Oh, I'll say that's a what a reach. I didn't hear that coming. That's for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just one of those movies, like, even now as an adult or a, very old child, as some would probably say, watching that movie,
Well,
it's like, this is still a good movie. And
yeah.
the music, again, it's like we were talking about earlier, just the nostalgia. I think that's also what really draws me back is, hearing like "Life is a Highway" by Rascal Flatts. Like,
yeah, that's pretty
do I
cool.
want to do I want to listen to that song every day? No.
God no.
But, I
But
could
in
go
the
2 or 3 years
right within the
and then
framing of
yeah.
cars, like
Yeah, if I hear it in
yeah.
Cars, I'm like, "Hell yeah." But if I hear it playing on the radio or somewhere, I'm like, "Ugh, this song again."
Did you see his last live concert? Did not go very well. Did you see that?
Ooh,
I
ooh, I love
didn't.
this. I love this topic. I love this topic. Okay, so if you paid attention to the timeline of things going on in the music realm, um, Cross Canadian Ragweed announced their reunion. The very next day after it becomes official, Cross Canadian Ragweed's getting back together for a one night show, right? This is before it blew up, right? Immediately, Rascal Flatts goes on there, and the guy from Rascal Flatts says, "Hey man, we got a big announcement coming tomorrow. We're doing a reunion tour." Tickets for Rascal Flatts went on sale the same day that Ragweed tickets did, and all the major outlets, country music outlets were pushing the shit out of Rascal Flatts. That day, you get on Twitter, it is a Ragweed show. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody. I got over 1,000 notifications that day
Damn.
across all social media platforms about Ragweed, making sure I got tickets, making sure, sending me memes to post, sending all this stuff. It was this massive showing. and like a couple days go by, and Ragweed's like sold out 4 days. Like they've added
Yeah.
4 shows. It's sold out completely. Over 100,000 people are coming to Oklahoma, and you get on there, and Rascal Flatts has announced this whole tour, and not a single date's sold out.
No shit.
And I in my mind, in my head canon of what happened, I don't know if this is really what happened or not, but some major label panicked when they heard Ragweed was getting back together and was like, "We can't let this get too big. We're gonna try to take like the hype away from it and put it on Rascal Flatts." And that's why they did the tour. And the tour, essentially, like you said, kind of flopped.
Yeah.
Um, because like Rascal Flatts is cool. I mean, whatever. But I don't care to go see Rascal Flatts, especially in a stadium. Like I'm not going to a stadium to see Rascal Flatts.
I
The only
would
time you're
pay
gonna get me
20 to
in a
25
stadium is for
bucks.
Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
would pay 20
Hell
to
yeah.
$25 to go see Rascal Flatts or a band like Eli Young Band solely
Local.
for that.
It would have to be a
Yes,
local venue.
yes, very
I'm not
local.
going to fucking Stillwater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I would go see Rascal Flatts and I'd go see Eli Young Band if it was cheap enough for me to be like, this is
Eli
interesting.
Young Band would be good to see.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you
it's
know,
also just
early
for that
on.
nostalgic feeling. And
Yeah.
especially, I was born and raised in Aubrey. Well, Eli Young Band came from Denton. Shit,
Right.
that's 15 minutes down the road. So it's like, whoa, here's this, growing up, this huge band who's, one of the biggest bands on radio. And you're telling me that they were just 15 minutes down the road? Like that's where they started?
well,
Whereas I could pay $25 to go see the Teague Brothers or Race Ricketts or all these other guys. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to. I'll drive an hour for that show. Whereas I'm not gonna drive an hour or 15 minutes and pay $75 for a ticket to see Rascal Flatts or Eli Young. I mean,
so
Not at
simple.
all.
I had
Not
that
at all.
I had that same thing a couple years ago. Chris Jansen was playing a small show
Chris Jansen. Interesting.
in Caney, Kansas, which is about 15 miles from where I live. Tickets were $20. And so I bought a ticket and I went, and like I posted it up on Twitter, and somebody was like, "I can't believe you're going to see Chris Jansen. Like he doesn't seem your thing." And I'm like, "Dude, for $20, gets me out of the house. I'm a businessman at the end of the day. People need to see my face." People came up, talked to me about like different stuff like that. Like you said, if it's a local show, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to turn down the opportunity to see live music. But I'm not paying $75 to go sit in a stadium and listen to it in worse quality than I can listen to it at home.
Would you? And here's a question. I just bought tickets to Mumford and Sons,
Mhm.
on a Monday night. I paid $300 for these fucking tickets. The question is like, who is that for you? Who would you go see for $300?
Ooh. So like now I've seen Cross Canadian Ragweed. I'm seeing them again. So like I still am very excited about it, but it's kind of lost the glitz and glamour of it, right? Like
Yeah,
I've seen him 3 times now. I'm getting ready to see him for the 4th and 5th time this year. So outside of Ragweed or Turnpike or somebody like that, it would have to be like a Sturgill Simpson, other Childers,
Isbell.
Isbell. I've seen Isbell. I saw him open up for the Turnpike Troubadours. I'm not really into Billy Strings, but I want to go to a Billy Strings show.
You take an edible or 3 and go watch fucking Billy Strings, dude. You won't
Watch all
regret
that.
it.
Yep.
What do they call them? The fancy lights. It's not hieroglyphics, but pyro. The
Pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics, yeah.
Yeah, same amount of syllables.
Close enough.
Yeah.
There's a song by the Drive-By Truckers off a Southern rock opera called Let There Be Rock. I'm sure you know it. Everybody knows it. And he talks about going to see Blue Oyster Cult and taking a tab of acid, and the lights turn into spiders, and they were chasing him. And then they get picked up on the way home because they got a case of beer and a bag of weed.
I love that shit. God, I fucking love Drive By, dude. We cover Never Gonna Change. Like we'll throw it in the set occasionally. It's fun. I love that shit. And I think I'm trying to think. Oh, the last band that I took a shitload of edibles and went and watched and like cried through half the set was fucking Wilder Blue.
What a
Yeah.
band.
Have y'all
What a
seen him
band.
live?
I have not seen him live, but
I've
I have cried to
seen
Wilder Blue songs.
yeah. I've seen Wilder
Motherfucker.
Blue and I've seen Zayn before Wilder
Yeah.
Blue was a thing.
Yeah, Zane, fantastic, and he's awesome, and he is the Wilder Blue in a lot of ways. Like the essence of Wilder Blue is him. But like the presentation of their show is fucking just masterclass. I mean, in entertainment, there is nothing more entertainment. That is the peak of musical entertainment to me, is watching
Yeah.
their set.
I mean, to me, it's honky tonk. It's sad.
Sure.
It's happy. It's
Yep.
drinking songs. It's I
Yep.
hate you songs. It's
Yeah.
everything.
This little party song in there, they're
Yeah.
good. They know what they're doing. And I remember meeting Zane. It's a funny story about that because it's like, when did this happen? 2019. I think it was like 2019, right after Turnpike like hung it up. Evan was like getting off the road and they went on hiatus. I went to Waco to watch them at the backyard, and Zane Williams. It was like COVID's kind of this like the whole thing's like, you can tell there's this boiling point going on. And I even asked him, I was like, man, who do you think is going to fill Turnpike's shoes? And then he goes, you know what? He said, let's go talk shop, because it was just me and my wife and him, and I was just up there out of town. And then like he starts telling me this band that he was building and rehearsing, and he has these songs and all this stuff, and he was like, think of the Eagles. He's like, but with like a touch of Turnpike and, a touch of Alabama and all this, like he kind of like painted a picture for me. And they told me all the people that were in the band. I was like, holy shit. I was like, every one of those people could be a lead singer. Paul, for one. Sean, my buddy's bass player, fucking phenomenal vocalist, all of them. The drummer. And yeah, and we just got fucking shit faced and just talked shit the whole night about it. But then like a year later, he announces Hill Country, it wasn't the Wilder Blue, it was Hill Country. And COVID happened, but and then he had to change the band name for legal reasons, blah blah blah. But yeah, what came out of that, the Wilder Blue, fucking absolutely.
I mean,
See,
now I do remember him calling it Hill Country, and it wasn't until you just said that now I realized it was like, oh shit. But I remember first seeing how he was like, hey, I'm not releasing music under my name anymore. Now it's going to be this band. And at the time, I mean, again, this pre-COVID, I'm 17, 18
Mhm.
years old. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I was
Right.
like, you were doing so well for yourself. Everybody knows your name. Now people who didn't see your post or whatever, and they see that this band's coming through town,
Right.
they're not gonna know who they are. And so
Mhm.
same with Silverado
Oh
and
yeah,
everything. I had the same thoughts, but
dangerous.
there's something about the Wilder Blue that just makes it vastly different than Zane Williams, but
It is.
just as,
Yeah.
if not more, successful. And you have that, couple year buffer of it's going to take time for people to catch on, get right with the new band, put personal grudges aside of, oh, why'd you
Right.
quit your own stuff, and
Right.
then go to the show, go see what this band creates, because no successful solo artist under their own name or Zane Williams band is going to
Mhm.
leave what they have and then in a sense start something new if they, don't necessarily, I guess, believe in it or know that it's going to do well. Just like buy the ticket, go see them, and
Yeah,
you
that's the
will
weird
enjoy it.
part. Like, it's like nobody knows it's gonna do well. I think it's like more of like what we talked about earlier. At some point, Zane's in his 40s. Like he might be 50 something now. Uh, but like his give a fuck about what other people think is gone. It's
Yeah.
gone. He's like, I'm doing like this because this is badass. And if y'all don't want to get on board, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it like this. And he has. I mean, he's had huge artists. I'm talking massive artists. Even Luke Combs, they did a cover with him. And it didn't necessarily blow him up. It
He even
didn't.
took him out
I don't know why.
on a string of shows too.
Stadium tours, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him right when they got back from that. I was hanging out with Sean, and he was like, it didn't really move the needle. It just didn't. It cost him a shitload of money to be there, actually. And it's just, that's part of it. I mean, but to me, the likes of us, of course, they're going to, and they still got work to do. And Zane, I don't think he'll ever run out of song ideas. So until then, let's just enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Just enjoy it. Whether you change your band name or not, same thing with Silverado. They made that decision to change. It's like, I understand why they were doing it, but like at the same time, but do I think it was a good idea? Fuck no. I think Moon Pies is way better of a band name, honestly. But it ain't me. They don't give a shit. Mike don't give a shit. It's like, that guy he's going to do what he wants, you know?
So, Silverado is one of my favorite bands. I
Yeah,
love
they are
Mike.
awesome.
I love the whole group. And you were talking about like how Zayn was talking about like he's got little big eagles. One of the best things I ever heard about Silverado was they're just like the honky tonk eagles, man. Like they're just eagles that make it
Yeah,
honky tonk. And I was like, yeah, I get that. But I mean, oh god, I love Silverado so much. Like I
same.
said, they're one of my every time I get to see them, and like we went to Tulsa and we stood out there and we watched the whole show and the whole set and everything. They get off stage and Omar comes running over to like the edge of the stage where we're still standing at. He's like, "You're never gonna learn how to clap correctly on the beaches of Biloxi, are you?" And I was like, "Ah, man."
There's
This is
2 things in life about Tracer. 1, he knows his shit about appliances. 2, he cannot keep or clap or stomp to a beat.
Really?
no.
Oh, man.
So but anyways, like Kendall, this is like Kendall had still been like adjusting, or not like adjusting, but like getting used to life out here in Oklahoma. She moved from here to from Nashville to here, and she was like, "Oh my god, Omar, come over and is like talking to us," and I was like, "Yeah." Well, then I like made my way over to like where they were standing at, and I see their band manager Casey. I'm like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Oh, come on, dude, come on." And so like we go backstage, we're hanging out, we're talking. I'm talking to Tay Tay, I'm talking to everybody, and Mike is out there and he's like signing autographs for everybody, and I'm just like biding my time, waiting. I'm in no hurry to be anywhere. And his Sharpie runs out,
Shit.
and so he goes to like grab another Sharpie, and he like walks past us, and then he stops and he turns around. And he goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah.
It's like for me, that was like, I mean, like I've hung out with him multiple times, like but I still don't expect him to remember me, that kind of thing. And I was like, "Well, when you're in Tulsa, I gotta come see you." And he's like, "You don't fucking go anywhere. I'm coming back. I gotta go sign autographs. I'm coming back for you." And so we hung out for a little bit just to like talk to him, shoot the shit. Just a great guy. I have nothing but great things to say about that band.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, musicians, like, we meet hundreds of people sometimes in the same night, and if we remember you, or something, like, it means you mean something to us in
yeah,
some form or fashion. I'll be
it,
honest with you. I see people when I go to Illinois, like, we play in this little town in Illinois, and, like, I'll see this one couple, like they're married and I know everything about this. I have no real reason why, other than like when first time I went to Illinois, they were at the show and they knew every song. And because of that, like they were memorable to me and they were cool as fuck. And so now every time we go in the area it's good to see people that you're familiar with, especially when you're out of town. So yeah, it's cool.
That's how it was for me. The Smoking Oaks played over in Denton at someplace. I'm now Dan's Silverleaf
Or Dan's,
over
yeah.
in Denton, and we went and watched them, and then whenever we were leaving, it was right before Key West, and so Grady was there, helping all the guys with everything, and we're leaving. I was like, oh hey, great show tonight, guys, and we're all good buddies with them, and so they were all, oh yeah, thanks for coming out, and I was like, Grady, safe travels to Key West, this, that, and the third, and he goes, I know you. And I went over there and I shook his hand, and he goes, you traveled all the way from Stillwater to here? Because we met him at Born and Raised backstage,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and really just chopped it up with him. And I was like, no, I'm the one that's over there in Whitesboro. And he goes, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. He's like, we were talking about the boathouse that we used to have. I was like, yeah. He goes, damn, man, well, thanks a whole lot for coming out. And, like, it's really good to see you. And, hope to see and talk to you here soon. I was like, yeah, cool, get over to the car, and I'm talking with my wife and my buddy, and I was like, pulling the big dick out, swinging like, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Grady
yeah,
Cross remembers me, and they're like, shut up and drive home. I was like, come on, like that's pretty cool, and they were both like, no, that's actually really badass. I was like, it's just things
Isn't
that
that
I've
what is
learned
isn't
is
that
being wholesome. Like,
yeah, isn't that what makes this I think that's what makes this scene so cool is the fraternity in it. Like in and outside of whether you're a musician or not, there's like this fraternity that's kind of baked in, and once you're inside of it, like you're cool forever, It's really, really awesome, and it's made up of some of the best people, the most humble people I've ever met, So it's really
no.
cool. It's cool to meet folks like you. I'm glad. I don't know how the hell y'all stumbled on my ass, but I'm glad you did. Yeah, hopefully y'all come
Tracer
out to a
reached
show.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tracer reached out and was like, hey, we're getting Teague Brothers on. I was like, no shit, really? He was, yeah, dude. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I've been listening to them for a couple of years now.
I'll
That's
give
sick.
I'll give a plug to my good friend Mr. Steve.
Oh,
Uh,
Steve, man, yeah, he's a good
he
dude.
he reached out to me and he said would you be interested in having the Teague brothers on? I said absolutely. Um, I love having anybody on. I love guests, and like I was unfamiliar with your music before he brought you up to me. I'd heard Gage mention you a time or two, but I like sat down and made me listen to it, and then I got the opportunity to sit down here and talk to you tonight. And
Yeah.
here comes Kendall. What's up, babe? Joining us at the very end. Okay.
The Race Ricketts episode was a lot for her.
Yeah, she still.
I'm
Was it?
recovering from that. So
Yeah,
Same.
I bet.
I had to plan a whole party on that episode. Exhausted.
So, but yeah, that's been the beauty of. We talked a little bit about like why Gage and I do this, and like why all of us at the tape deck do what we do, and
To get rich and forget about everybody.
yeah,
Remember that.
Forget our day ones.
it's at the end of the day, it's just to find new music and then to create a platform that we can get artists on and make something that people enjoy listening to. That's why we try to do it unstructured. Like there's no episode that's the same. Like every episode is going to be in a train, like a unhinged train wreck. And that's the beauty in doing this is,
Yeah,
like going
Nobody
in,
can
like,
tell us what we can and can't do.
right.
true.
Like,
True.
if like we talk about the Race Ricketts episode, if you would have told me we were going to spend 30 minutes talking about a soap, I would have never believed you.
I think we spent
Yeah, but I mean,
Well,
we just
a prime example is we wanted him on because he has a new album coming out. What is it, March 20th?
March 20th. This episode will be
Yeah.
out when the album comes out. So go stream that album, please and thank you.
Yes.
and White Flora's new single.
We were like, okay, we're going to get him on and we're going to talk about, try to help generate and promote his album. We spent maybe 15 or 30 minutes talking about that album.
No,
The other
so
2 hours and however long it was like not even really music related.
Talking about
And
chili.
I felt bad afterwards. I was like, fuck, like, we want to get artists on to try to promote their music, but then again, that's what they do on every single other podcast.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah.
Promote,
it's- yeah.
promote. Where it's like here, it's just like we just
No,
get
you
to
learn about
get to know,
appliances,
yeah,
and
we get
talk
to know
about
one another, and
VHS.
then
You just sit
random,
around and bullshit.
most random shit ever, and it's
Yeah.
like I
Well, I
can't
wish
remember
I'd
who
have
it
known
was.
that. I'd have smoked a doobie before I got on here. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Hey,
That's
hey,
like
you got an
what-
album coming out, so
Yeah.
we can circle back around then. Can't promise we're going to talk much about the album,
No,
but
if I
you
come
know.
back on here, I don't plan on talking about music at all. We're just going
My
to talk
thing is-
about
yeah.
carpentry and fucking like appliances.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what makes it good, different than the rest, because everybody else is doing the same boring stuff. Like, maybe I want to know what Race Rick's chili orders is. Maybe I want to know
Yeah.
what Triple Dipper.
Yeah, I mean, I've got chicken to eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we'll circle back and then we'll debate it out, okay?
yeah, yeah. So it's just over here. It's wide open. We call ourselves a music podcast, but now we're going more to the
Educational.
informative and educational podcast. And again, just my favorite thing with all this is getting to learn more. I mean, I learned shit from Tracer, and I've known him for 2 years now. Learned more shit about him today, and then
That's
getting
Yeah.
to
Comedy
know
podcast.
you, and then just
Yeah.
it feels like it coming down and touching the grass. And it's funny
is.
because we always talk about, put down technology and go out and touch grass. Well, here
Yeah.
we are touching grass through technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can force it this way. I think this is fine. This is fucking hanging out. Like back in the day, like you go hang out with your neighbor, you know? Like you would just go over to their house, or like y'all would plan like somebody's barbecue or something. It's a little more spaced out these days, but I think that's pretty cool because you get to meet new people that you never would have met otherwise. Like you're not my neighbor. I never would have debated my neighbor about chicken. You know, like these things, you know.
Yeah. And
But
again,
yeah, that's cool.
I think my favorite thing within all this is just getting to meet new artists and talk to them and not have it just be solely business.
Mhm.
Like, it's just a free let go, have fun.
Well, you guys let me know if y'all want to come to a show, and you'll be my guest for sure, and we'll hang out and talk shit for sure.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Appreciate
Well-
that. And also, I greatly appreciate your service, everything. I know
Thanks, man.
my internet disconnected earlier, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was
So I
the
can't- I
weirdest
can't
thing.
forget
It
this.
looked like you just vanished. Like you were there, and then like you just went, you were gone. But like everything in the background was still there. So it was very weird. Did you see that, Tracer?
I did. So I
I
saw
was like
all
mid
three of
sentence,
them
and I'm
gone.
like, it was startling.
I was like, okay, well maybe he had to run to the bathroom.
Skinwalker.
And
yeah,
so,
yeah,
like, we
very
just-
skinwalker.
We just sat here, and then all of a sudden, like his screen goes black, and then it just goes away. And it's just like the two of us, and I was just like, okay, well, I guess
Huh?
I'm doing this without Gage. And I finally looked at my phone, and he's like, internet problems. I'm rebooting, and I was like, it's all right. I'll keep it afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens
And-
to the best of us, man. Shit.
Luckily,
I
I
forget
get
the
to
words
deal
of
with
my
all the.
songs too.
Luckily, I get to deal with all the
Tracer,
editing.
why would you repost this
everything.
horrible clip?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tracer and technology are not very
He's
good.
done.
That's
no,
another
he's
thing.
fired from social media team. I'm taking over. Listen,
I'm
I'm the
taking
one-
over.
I'm the one with the TikTok clout. Thank
There
you.
you go. There you go. See?
Um,
All right.
I think it's about time we wrap this one up. So, John, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Go stream the Teague Brothers band wherever you stream music at, preferably not Spotify, because fuck Spotify.
Fuck Spotify.
Fuck Spotify.
Yeah. Man, love yourself, love somebody else. Music saves lives. This world's a better place with you in it. Your mental health matters. Seek help if you feel like you need to seek help, and take yourself out somewhere nice this week. Go eat a quesadilla, drink a Coors Light, talk to somebody. Have a great week, man. I love y'all so much.
Yeah,
Later, folks.
exactly what Tracer said. Ditto. With all that being said, again, John, thanks a whole lot for coming on. This was a lot of fun. New music will be coming out this year.
Yep.
Couple months from now, gonna
Yep.
start dropping singles. So
Yep.
may as well just have him back on come album time, and we get to do this again. And you
Let's do
won't hear anything about the album. You'll just hear more bullshit talks.
Sounds good, fella.
But
See you then,
with all
man.
that being said, I've had all I can handle. I hope you're